Hello everyone and welcome back, Dace here, and today I'm going to be sharing my review of Owlboy for the Nintendo Switch. So let's get right into things here. This is going to be a pretty casual one, it's not scripted. I normally don't do scripted, but I have been known to do that. Anyway, this is literally just point form and I'm going to babble on about a few things. So anyway, what is Owlboy? It's an action-adventure platformer by a Norwegian indie developer, D-Pad Studio. Now, a lot of people know about this game, and a lot of people are well aware that this was pretty much 10 years in the making, and when you see screenshots for the first time, or even the second time, or the third, like, oh my god, you just understand why this project, or at least parts of why this went on for as long as it did. I'm sure there were challenges and roadblocks and things that they came up against, which prolonged the creation process, but at the same time, when you just see how much detail went into this, that definitely explains part of the long duration. So anyway, in Owlboy, let's just casually get into the plot. You play Otis, who is a little mute owl, and he lives in the Sky Village. Essentially, it's attacked by pirates, and he sets out on a quest to save and protect his community, and he makes friends along the way, that sort of thing. So during this journey, he begins to uncover a long-forgotten truth surrounding, like, the owl ancestors, like the ancient owls of the past. And along the way, he also him and his friends are more or less racing to acquire these mysterious relics that just house untold power. Eventually, the pirate captain of, like, the pirate group that is, like, attacking everyone and going crazy has all three relics, but then Solace, who is someone from Otis's village, he ends up being this hooded figure and is like, I'm stealing the relics for myself, and so the pirate captain is outraged, and blah blah blah. Otis and his friends eventually catch up with Solace, who is performing some sort of, like, ritual, and you're led to believe that he's, like, stealing these from the pirate captain for himself to abuse the power or whatever, and that he's, like, up to no good. But when you defeat him, you learn, oh, he was actually trying to restore balance to the Force, essentially. So anyway, that's in a piss-poor nutshell, that's the story. Anyway, as for controls, the game controls so beautifully well. Everything, like, when you're flying, when you're running, when you're jumping, everything is smooth, everything feels legitimate and just feels so real. I think it's really sweet that you can actually roll in midair. Like, obviously, that's the coolest thing because you're an owl and you can just do that. But yeah, like, as far as controls, I'm not gonna, like, invest a huge amount of time on, like, controls and and all that stuff. Like, they're just awesome all around. I really enjoy how everything feels in this game. It's just sweet. As for the music is top notch. Oh, like, just listen to that. Oh my god, Mandolin's house. But yeah, the music is fantastic. There were so many different points in the game where what's happening in the story, like the eerie moments, or the, like, where you're just on the edge of your seat or whatever, and just you've got this music that fits everything to a T, and it's just beautiful. Like, the compositions are absolutely incredible in this game. I love it. Another huge thing, probably easily my favorite about the game, is the visuals. Like, just the level of layering and the details and the colors, like, everything is lush, vibrant, just rich, and the details off in the distance, like, you name it, you can see so much. They put their heart and soul into making this game look absolutely incredible. This is easily, in terms of, like, platformers, this is easily one of the most beautiful pixel art games I have ever experienced. And yeah, honestly, like, every time I see this game or play it, I am just constantly blown away again and again. Like, it does not get stale. It is just so beautiful. So moving right along, like I could literally just talk about how amazing things look, but moving right along, there are some definite downsides to the game. 3 that I feel like touching on, which are the main ones in my opinion, as I sip my coffee here. So first off, it feels super linear, and what I mean by that is the story is very like point A to point B to point C. There really isn't much else going on, and it's also super linear in the sense of the actual world and like the map and where you can go. And this ties into my next point, which I'll just get into. Lack of exploration. Like, they've created this absolutely incredible world, and you just want to be exploring to no end, and yet you're just given only a handful of places to actually navigate through. And it's not a big game in terms of like the size of explorable areas. So in some ways I feel like that is a really big con, like just the lack of exploration. Like, you aren't able to, like, you're immersed in this rich world and you just want to be exploring, but they have not created enough for everything you want to be doing, like all the places that you would want to be going. So in that sense, it fell a little short, and it was kind of underwhelming in that area. But at the same time, like, it's like it's just so good. Like, it's an amazing game. Like, I don't want to judge it strictly from that and say like, oh, well, like, you can barely do anything, because like, for what it is, it's a nice sweet little package of a game. Like, you just get into it, you experience it, and boom, like, it's just incredible. I just think they could do a lot more, or could have done a lot more. As for the way the actual story, this is my third point, by the way. As for the way things get wrapped up at the end, the conclusion to the story is pretty abrupt and underwhelming. I remember the first time I played it, I was like, my first playthrough ever, I was like five-ish hours into the game, and then suddenly you're starting to explore some really, really awesome stuff, and like the things you're learning, you're just like, wow, what is going on? And things are revealed, and then suddenly the game is just over. You fight Solace, and then you realize that he was trying to restore things, and then the pirate captain like crashes into the building, and there's no showdown with him at all. Like, it's just your fight with Solace was the last battle. And so then you solve this like totem puzzle, which isn't really solving it, because like, yeah, there's only one thing to do at that point, and it's just like align the things on the totem pole. And then Otis goes into some sort of realm of memories, or like, who knows, like whatever. But anyway, the point is, like, it seemed like a very rushed ending in ways, and not necessarily even rushed in the sense of like they were rushing to meet a deadline. Like, maybe they were, who knows, but rushed in the sense that like it kind of feels like they just put so much effort into the look and feel that they were kind of just like, oh, well, okay, like we've got next to nothing left for creating an amazing story to go with that. So they kind of just like slapped together, or so it feels anyway. So like, those are the 3 main things, and I could of course go more in depth with those points, but I more or less just want to keep this shorter and sweeter, and leave room for questions and discussion as well in the comments below. So anyway, my final thoughts. I have no doubt in my mind, like, I intend to play Owlboy again and again and again, because it's absolutely incredible. Seeing and being immersed, like I said before, just the immersion here in that degree of detail is just amazing. It's so beautiful. There are few games that reach this degree of detail when it comes to like pixel art games, and I think this is truly something special. I want to be playing this game until the day I die because it's just incredible stuff. Other than that, I feel like it would be really neat if they were to, like one idea I just had this morning was, like, yeah, why don't they just do an expanded version of Owlboy? Not a continuation or anything like that. They literally just take this game and they just make it more full. They just, like, they have a lot of the groundwork established already. It would just be a matter of building, altering, and infusing some new things into it to create a longer, more in-depth story, a bigger world with things to, like, more areas to explore, more things to do, of course, because in some ways there isn't a whole lot to do in this game. Like I said, it's linear in a lot of ways, and I just think, like, they have such an incredible thing here. Like, it's awesome if they never touch it and they just leave it as is, because I love it that way, even with the drawbacks I feel it has. But if they were to just expand upon this and make, like, Owlboy Plus, or, like, whatever they would call it, just like something that's a more wholesome experience, and just really gives the player that opportunity to explore and do those things that they wanted to do, instead of having this abruptly, like, this abrupt end and then that's it. Like, I just think that would be so cool. Anyway, I do have an excitement for seeing what D-Pad Studio does in the future, because if Owlboy is any indication of what games can look like and the music that they can have and just how fun they are and just how cool and creative they can be, then yeah, I'm definitely going to keep tabs on that for sure. Anyway, that is going to wrap this review up. Yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, share your comments below. I would love to actually hear some feedback, because this is a game that certainly has a lot of, a lot of back and forth. Like, a lot of people love it, and a lot of people seem to have the same opinion about some of the things I mentioned, like the ending, for instance, and just lack of areas to explore. Like, those are some really huge things. So anyway, yeah, comments below, that would be sweet. You guys have an awesome day, and I will see you next time.